Okay, now we go to the laboratory test for us then to identify the different species of your strep. So first we have here the hemolytic pattern. We have discussed this already with your Brown's classification. So again, your group A, group B, and group C are all beta hemolytic. Okay, so ganun na siya. So just review lang yun. So then we have also here your colony characteristics. Okay, your group A, your strep pyogenes would have your pinpoint na colony, so very small na colony, and appear to be gray, and that one would have your larger zone of your beta hemolysis. Group B, on the other hand, appears to be much larger na colony compared to your group A, but that one would have here the narrow zone of your beta hemolysis. Your strep very dense with a here minute to small colony. It's gray in color na colony and would have your alpha, beta, and gamma hemolytic reactions. Group D, on the other hand, would appear to be alpha, beta, and gamma, but that one would have here smaller cream white na colony color. Then your strep pneumoniae, usually glistening, dome shape. Uh, dome shape here pag ano siya, pag young culture or colony, but upon age, pag naging age na siya, as it try to age, tama ba? As try to age, it become umbilicate. It's appear to be highly mucoid because of its capsule. So pag mga mucoid na colony, expect that one would have here the capsule. And then again, your strep pneumoniae would have your Brown classification of alpha hemolytic. But then again, sa Lancefield grouping natin, wala siyang Lancefield grouping. Okay, then we have also here the physiologic characteristics. The first one, pyogenic na mga strep. So, pag pyogenic, they try to cause your skin infection which are pus-producing. Most likely, sila ay mga beta hemolytic natin. Lactococci, on the other hand, is your very dense. Your group N, that one is non-hemolytic group N. And lactococci here most likely they are found in our dairy products. Mga milk, di ba, cheese, milk, cheese, and all. Enterococci, on the other hand, enteric, so gastrointestinal tract, normal microbial flora of our intestinal tract. Very dense is also the normal microbial flora of your upper respiratory tract. Okay, then we have also here the culture media for isolation of your strep. So, for you then to grow your strep, so dapat blood agar ang ginagamit natin. Just like your stuff then dapat blood agar. So, the blood agar in the form of your blood agar plate or your SBA, sheep blood agar, that one would be considered here as enriched the culture media because again, it contains the blood. Okay, then we have also here your blood agar plus your antibiotic disc, SXT or sulfamethoxazole trimethoprim that would help you to differentiate your group A and group B being resistant to your SXT compared with your other na mga strep na mga species. Okay, now we have here different biochemical reactions that help us then to differentiate the different species of your strep. The first one, we have your antimicrobial susceptibility with your bacitracin, antibiotic na bacitracin. Another name for that is Retaxo-A. Okay, the Retaxo-A or bacitracin at a concentration of 0.040 unit. Okay, so for bacitracin, your group A, your strep pyogenes will have here susceptible na result. All the rest na mga strep natin, they are resistant. I mean to say, ang bacitracin is effective against your strep pyogenes, but not with the other species of your strep. Then we have your SXT, sulfamethoxazole trimethoprim. So this one would have your resistant result with your group A strep pyogenes and group B na strep agalactiae. So all the rest are susceptible. So mean to say, ang group A sa group B natin. So SXT, sulfamethoxazole trimethoprim, it's not effective against your group A and group B. It will be effective against the rest of the species of your strep. Okay, the next one, we have your CAMP test or Christie-Atkins-Munch-Petersen test. So this would allow you then to identify the synergistic activity or the enhanced hemolytic activity of your beta hemolytic strep, particularly your group B, your strep agalactiae, in accordance with the beta toxin or beta lysine produced by your Staph aureus. Okay, your group B strep, your Strep agalactiae, produces here a CAM factor. It's a diffusible protein-like compound that would enhance the hemolytic reaction produced by the beta toxin produced by your Staph aureus. So, para magawa itong procedure na to, all you need to do is just, this one is your CAM na culture media. Usually blood agar lang siya. Okay, then you streak here your Staph aureus. So, streak mo pa ganon in a straight line ang ating Staph aureus. Then you try to streak or inoculate here your Strep agalactiae perpendicular to that. Incubate and observe here for an arrowhead hemolytic reactions. So, pag magkaroon siya ng arrowhead hemolytic reaction, so that's your Strep agalactiae or your group B. So, nagkaroon siya ng enhanced, this is enhanced hemolytic reaction is because here ang Staph aureus natin may beta hemolysin and then your Strep agalactiae also have here the beta lysine. So, nag-enhance lalong kanyang hemolytic reaction. That's your producing a arrowhead na hemolytic reaction with your CAMP test. Another one, your hippuric acid test with identification of the enzyme hippuricase. Okay, based on the ability of your bacteria that will contains the enzyme hippuricase to hydrolyze the substrate hippuric acid in the form of your sodium hippurate, converting that one to your benzoic acid and your glycine. Then you add your indicator ninhydrin and observe here for deep blue or purple na color. So positive result would appear the deep blue or purple na color that will give only a positive result for your Strep agalactiae. So lahat ng mga strep natin, they will give a negative result here with the strep, with your hippuricase or hippuric hydrolysis test, and they will give here a colorless na reaction. Another test here, we have the PYR. So this would identify the enzyme pyrrolidonyl aryl sulfatase, just like kanina sa staff natin. Okay, so basically the substrate for that is your pyrrolidonyl beta naphthalinamide. That will convert that one to your beta naphthalinamine plus your pyrrolidonyl. Then you add your indicator in the form of your paradimethyl aminosinamaldehyde. Will give here positive result with red in color. So the PYR will give only a positive test result here for your strep, your group A strep, your strep pyogenes, and your enterococcus. All the rest will give a negative result that would have your orange na color or the absence of your red na color. So usually orange kasi siya, the original color. Another one, we have the enzyme lab using aminopeptidase. So this would identify the ability of the organism here to hydrolyze your leucine beta-naphthalinamide. If meron siyang enzyme na leucine aminopeptidase, that will convert that one to your beta-naphthalinamide, beta-naphthalinamine. Then again, your indicator is also your paradimethyl aminosinamaldehyde. So, red pa din ang positive color natin. For the lab, it will give positive result for your group A, for your strep pneumoniae, and even for the strep, for your enterococcus. Your group D na enterococcus. And your group D enterococcus, your ficus in your fish room. All the rest will give a negative result for the lab. Okay, then we have your bile squalene hydrolysis here. So, that's would identify the ability of your strep to grow in the presence of your bile. That's your 40% na bile in the form of your sodium taurate or sodium deoxycholate. Okay, that's your sodium taurate or sodium deoxycholate. Wala, tama pa na. Ito lang siya. Again, this would identify the ability of your strep here to grow in a 40% na bile and its ability to hydrolyze the squalene. So, if your bacteria, strep here, able to grow in the 40% bile, mag-grow dito siya sa culture media. And then, try to hydrolyze your iscoline, producing a blackening of the colony. So, magiging black ang colony niya. So, that would identify. Basically, this test, your salt by iscoline hydrolysis will identify your group D na strep, both your enterococcus and your non-enterococcus. Enterococcus sa group D includes your Strep faecalis and Strep fishium. Your non-enterococcus, your Strep bovis. Both of them were able to grow in a 40% bile, and then it was able also to hydrolyze your iscoline. All the other Strep will not grow and eventually will not hydrolyze the iscoline. So para ma-differentiate silang dalawa, since both of them are positive for this one, you proceed with your salt tolerance test that would have here the ability to grow in 6.5% na sodium chloride. So pag mag-grow siya sa 6.5% sodium chloride, mean to say that one, we're able to tolerate the 6.5% na sodium chloride. And that's will identify your strep na group D enterococcus. On the other hand, your group D na non-enterococcus, which are your strep bovis, again, they will not grow. This one is, that one will not grow in the 6.5% sodium chloride. So, para ma-differentiate silang dalawa, then from here, to identify your group D, so una, by iscoline hydrolysis, but then both of them, non-enterococcus and enterococcus, were able to grow into your bile and try to hydrolyze the iscoline. To differentiate your enterococcus sa non-enterococcus na group D, then perform here salt tolerance that will identify yung positive natin na enterococcus, mean to say able to grow in the presence of your 6.5% sodium chloride, but your non-enterococcus will not able to grow. Okay, another biochemical reaction here, antimicrobial susceptibility testing. We have your optochin or your taxopi. So chemically, your optochin here is your ethyl hydroxycopyrene hydrochloric acid, hydrochloride. Okay, so this one is susceptibility testing. So, ang cut-off ng ating zone of inhibition, if you are using here 6mm na disc, ganun kabilog, na optochin, so 14mm ang ating cut-off. But if you're using here, medyo malaki na disc na optochin, that's 10mm, ang cut-off is 16mm diameter. So, lahat na more than na zone of inhibition here, more than the cut-off, then we consider that one susceptible. Lahat naman na ang kanyang zone of inhibition is less than the cut-off, so we consider that one as resistant. So for our susceptible here, so the Strep pneumoniae would identify here being susceptible with your optochin na antibiotic this or antibiotic. All the rest of your Strep would have here the resistant na result. Another one, identifying here your Strep pneumoniae, we have your bile solubility test with the use of your 2% bile in the form of your sodium taurocolate or sodium deoxycholate. Your bile is originally turbid na solution. However, here your Strep pneumoniae would have here the autocatalytic activity. So, pwede siyang mag-self-destroy here because meron siyang enzyme na amidase that would tend to disrupt or try to destroy, hydrolyze your bile. And therefore, pag na-hydrolyze niya, magiging clear ang ating solution. And that would identify your Strep pneumoniae. That's a positive result for this. Okay, negative result here, still magiging turbid pa din siya because wala siyang catalytic activity. It's because nawala siyang enzyme. And that identifies your other species of your Strep. But in the case of your Strep pneumoniae, meron siyang autocatalytic enzyme and therefore able to digest your bile that would allow your bile to transform here from turbid solution to become clear, and that would identify your Strep pneumoniae. Again, as a summary, bacitracin would be susceptible with your group A only. Your SXT, sulfamethoxazole, trimethoprim would have resistant result for the group A and group B lang. All the rest are susceptible. Okay, on the other hand, your strep agalactae is being identified by number 1, your CAM test. So CAM test would have your arrowhead appearance na hemolysis with your group B strep agalactae. Another one is your hepatic hydrolysis test that also will give a positive result only for your group B. Another one identification for your group D would be your salt tolerance, your biosolubility test. Okay, your bile is choline hydrolysis test. So that would be identifying here that your group D, both your Enterococcus and non-Enterococcus, would eventually be capable of able to grow in the presence of your 40% bile and able to hydrolyze your choline. To differentiate between the two, Enterococcus and non-Enterococcus na group D, then you proceed with your salt tolerance na 6.5% sodium chloride na ang mag-grow lang in the presence of 6.5% sodium chloride will be your Enterococcus but not your non-Enterococcus. Then for the strep pneumoniae, it's being identified here by your optogene susceptibility test, and we have also here your biosolubility test. Okay, so at the pinakalikod ng PowerPoint natin, so may mga tabular dyan. So I think masusundan nyo na rin. So example for that, we have your alpha hemolytic reaction. So in the SBA, ship blood agar, so if your bacteria would have your alpha hemolytic reaction, so alpha hemolytic reaction is identified as greenish discoloration, that's partial hemolysis. And we don't know here kung ano ang nag-grow na strep natin because there are several na mga species of strep which are alpha hemolytic. Okay, so ano gagawin mo para ma-identify siya? First, perform your bioscoline hydrolysis. Again, your bioscoline hydrolysis here will give a positive result for your group B. Pag negative siya, so rule out mo, hindi siya group D. But then again, your group D is made up of your Enterococcus saka non-Enterococcus. Okay, para ma-differentiate silang dalawa, perform your 6.5% sodium chloride solubility test. So, pag nag-grow siya dito, so that's your Enterococcus, your Strep ficalis or Strep fissum. Pag hindi siya nag-grow, that's your non-Enterococcus na group D. That would identify your Strep bovis, non-Enterococcus group D. Another one, you could also perform your optogene susceptibility testing. Pag susceptible ang results, so automatic na strep pneumonia yan. Pag hindi, then pag resistant, again, try to suspect for the group D or the viridans. Perform ulit ang 6.5% na sodium chloride. Again, this will identify your group D Enterococcus. Pag nag-negative siya, that's your group D non-Enterococcus. So, ganun lang, sundan nyo lang. Okay, so with the basic na principle na mga biochemical reactions that identifies each of the species of your strep. Okay, so that's it for our strep discussion. Thank you.